In a nutshell, iDigBio is funded to help kickstart the digitization of natural history collections in the USA. We do work internationally, collaborating with other museums and folks developing methods for doing this. We are actively involved with the entire data pipeline, from researchers who collect the data to data and collection managers in natural history museums, both freestanding and at universities, to help them mobilize their data. And we have workshops and webinars to help facilitate discovery of best practices for how to do this better and faster, and how to make sure we disseminate that knowledge. This includes things like georeferencing workshops, workshops for skills, and also data skills for using software as specified to manage collection data, or Symbiota. In addition to that, we work with researchers on the data use side as well, where we make sure that they know we have data for them to use, and we facilitate the use of other applications, software applications like PhyloGive and LifeMapper, so that researchers can use the data that we have in ways that's useful for them to do things like species niche modeling, phylogenetics research, and to think about novel ways in which they might use the data, or improve the data, or enhance the data. Currently, over 280 museums are participating in working on these digitization initiatives to mobilize certain parts of their collections to facilitate specific research questions, or providing data sets for those questions. And there are many ways to get involved. You could get involved at your local museum, your local collections, going in to see what you can do to help with their digitization efforts, or possibly with their education outreach efforts that are part of their digitization programs in their museums. You could get involved at iDigBio in many ways. There are working groups that you could join. There are education outreach projects like iDigBio that we recently had, which was a worldwide digitization blitz, cooperating with other citizen science projects around the planet to do a 4-day event. You could get involved with any of our workshop planning, for example. If you needed and wanted to propose a workshop, you could come to iDigBio and do that as well. And you could come to find out more about doing things like possibly becoming a pen. If you have specimens at the museum that you think fit the research profile of one of the current funded thematic collection networks, these museum networks, it's possible that you could become a partner to an existing network. There are many reasons for digitizing collections, and some of them I think we haven't even discovered yet. We'll discover new uses for the data. Many reasons for digitizing collections include species discovery. Often collections have so many things, and they're working so hard that there are even things they, by digitization, find out they had that they didn't know they had. There are also just simply the sheer number of specimens making it that only so much time to look at things, and by digitizing them and getting them out on the web, people discover things that they hadn't seen before and have new opportunities to name things, and so systematists and taxonomists are very happy with that. Other reasons to digitize include new insights into species-host interactions, for example. Being able to combine data from your discipline, your research discipline, like entomology, with another research discipline like botany, means that you can then ask some questions about host species associations. If you're interested in bats, and you're interested in mammals, but then you're also interested in the environments they live in, and you can have plant data that tells you what other plants are in the area, you can begin to ask relationships about those. And if you're doing ecology research, restoration research, these are many other ways in which the digitized data from natural history collections can be used to inform things like ecological restoration work. You could go back 100 years or more and discover what used to be on that land. In addition to that, if you think about doing conservation work, or you think about long-term planning for land use management, if you think about industry and the information needs that they have for land use, land development, planning for water use and water management, all this data has potential broad uses for informing more perfectly or adding more data to the way that they currently collect data. Our current focus is on research use of the data. So we have quite a few initiatives coming up, hackathons where groups of people get together and work on software that facilitates research use of the data. We're going to have a series of workshops at upcoming meetings, for example, next year at ICE. We have a symposium set up to focus on research use of the data and to highlight current uses and to dream big about potential uses, to highlight for ecologists and entomologists and all research scientists how this data can enhance their research. We have an upcoming series of webinars that focus on research use of the data, and we're always looking for input if you have ideas for how this can be done or software you'd like to see integrated that would facilitate your research use of our data.